Hi guys, this is Jean Holden, producer of the show, and I just wanted to take a minute to let you know where you can find us on the internet. Please go to ThatMan on Fatman.com. There you can find out all the things you need to know about the show. You'll be able to find links to the podcast, to YouTube, to Twitter, Facebook, even Instagram and Snapchat. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Today's show is brought to you by Death Wish Coffee. Death Wish Coffee, the strongest coffee in the world.
This is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and I want to urge you to make a generous donation to the Wayne Foundation so we can stop the sexual trafficking of children. Do it, or I'll find you.
And don't forget to check out our good friend of the show, Mark Live, over at chundertunes.com for all your podcast animation needs. ThatMan on Fatman is recorded with a Zoom H6 handy recorder. Zoom for creators.
Disclaimer. The show you're about to experience is for entertainment purposes only. The host used mature language and conversation just like in most of life. If you're too uptight, this might not be for you. All that said, we really do hope you enjoy the show. But if you don't enjoy it, expect a nice big shipment of my joyous Joker juice on your doorstep in the very near future. Toodles!
As the world's biggest Kevin Smith fan, I appreciate the fact that somebody finally made a podcast about that interesting motherfucker. So, yes, you absolutely did the right thing. It was smart. I appreciate it. I think you were right to do that.
Okay, what has two thumbs and is a huge fan of Kevin Smith? ThatMan!
Yes, I am that man. The juggernaut of a podcast.
We need a costumed vigilante is what we need. Justice can't be served unless it's being fought outside the system.
Here's what we're going to do, eh?
Oh, shit. It's that man. Who is he? He's that man. He's talking. Go get him, that man.
Well, once upon a time, a regular man read a book written by the Fat Man. Tough shit, written by old Kev Smith. Kev said go out and start a podcast, and so I did, and I had a real blast. But my obsession was driving my co-host nuts. Didn't want to bring the podcast down. Needed Porkchop Murphy to hang around. So I created a new show with one heck of a plan, and I'd call that show ThatMan on Fatman, because we're going to chat about Kevin Smith. That's right, let's talk about old Kev Smith.
Yes, please note that use of all sound effects is done ironically.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to this, episode 4-10. That means we are in the fourth season, or fourth year of the show, and the 10th episode. And things are actually stepping up where we should start banging out these episodes a little more frequently. Now, well, let me first introduce co-host and producer extraordinaire, who is just taking a sip of her coffee, but now is clear. None other than my sexy partner in crime, Jean Holden. Oh, I wait. You know, I took you off mute, but
And coffee connoisseur.
But it
Hi,
helps
guys.
if I turn up the fader.
Hey, guys.
And everybody says hey back.
Hey, I know you do. It's like I can see you guys doing the wave right now.
My name is Guy LaPointe.
My name is Guy LaPointe.
Yes.
I should just say that every time, because that's really what I want to say.
And sorry, not sorry.
And that too.
There you go.
Fetty finger. I love you, Kevin.
Oh man, I actually now let me before we move on to today's show. There's been a change in the schedule, and you know, I can't tell you how many times I've probably said this on the show.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I did it again. I've never fucking learned.
Dag nabbit.
Yeah, it's whenever I pre-announce a guest or pre-announce something, inevitably things have to change, and I'm made a liar of, and I hate it. So
inevitably, I send the just confirming.
It's so weird because I really I held back on this one until the day of, and I thought we were safe. I thought, it's the day of. We'll get it.
Yeah.
So,
but he didn't even know.
Well, as it was reported, if you watch that, take two. If you watch Bone Crushing Juggernaut, I was already talking about it there. But yes, we had Ralph Garman booked and all ready to go. But he does have a good excuse to cancel.
A good enough excuse.
It works for me. I mean, it's cool because, he got called in. He had to do some Family Guy work.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
All in caps.
So he had
all in caps. Family Guy.
He had to bump us for Family Guy. So we can let that one.
Yeah, we'll let him feed his daughter.
We get to say on our show that he bumped us for Family Guy. So that's kind of cool.
But he could have bumped them. No.
So we were all set for that, and it had to be rescheduled. I am giving no further information.
Yes.
Until after it's in the can.
You guys have to listen.
So there'll be no tweets about it until after it's in the can.
I know.
So there you go.
It's pretty firm this time.
Yeah, all right.
And it's even cooler because the timing is just better.
Maybe he's one of those, 3 cancels a charm guy. Which they said Kevin
he was charming enough to meet.
But
so
we were
I
lucky
can't
to
imagine
not have to have that experience.
That's the podcast experience will be amazing. He was a pleasure to meet. He's a pro, so it's going to go great.
But hey, we don't rest on our laurels here.
No, we don't.
Because we had another interview that we had lined up, and with some shuffling of the cards.
And thank you, sir, for changing the all around with us.
Indeed. But you know what? Actually, this all works.
It really did work out.
It all works out for the best anyway.
It did.
Yeah. So today on the show we have Mr. Brett Murray. Now, longtime listeners will remember Brett from a couple of other appearances. Mm-hmm. One is really memorable for one, and a reason why it's memorable for me, and I don't say this to bust his balls because I had a great time talking to him, but it was like we had a 4-hour conversation about the Scottish, what is it? The independence movement.
Yeah, the political movement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we had and it was a great thing, but I had like a 3 or 4 hour conversation with him, and I ended up having to edit a lot out of the show.
Yeah.
And he's been on with Chris Downey, and basically he's on because he's very integral to the project known as Shooting Clerks. He's been the producer, so he works on a lot of logistical stuff, and he's also been he plays Bryan Johnson in the film.
Right.
So, and it's funny because he reminds us of that during the interview, and you hear the fact that he does lose himself in that role.
Oh my God, it's such a great performance.
Yeah. You forget it's him. So that's why I forgot. I know it was him. You're right.
And not just anybody could do that.
Yeah, he gets that tone.
A really good job.
He drops the low tone, and that's really part of the key of it.
Good job, dude.
He can hit that low end. All right, so we'll have that interview, which we recorded earlier today. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun interview. There's a lot of excitement. The whole Shooting Clerks thing is blowing up. And as you'll find out, if you don't already know, during the whole, as we talked about last show,
right,
the Red Bank, not Shooting Clerks, Jay and Silent Bob, Cosplay. What's the name of the fucking record?
The Guinness Book of World Records.
Why can I not remember that?
What's the name of the world record thing? It's the Guinness Book of World Records.
What do you want? I'm doing it. It's the microphone.
Yeah, I know.
Makes you lose.
And that's usually me. I usually do that shit.
No.
You're usually
actually,
better.
I'm the one who always does it, and you're always the one who says my bacon.
Oh.
Don't fucking.
Oh.
Don't sugarcoat.
Oh,
all right,
you.
Don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining. All right, anyway.
Making it rain.
So, that will be
August.
After, of course. I mean, we'll dive into all this.
All the shenanigans of the day.
Yes.
And then
after,
8 o'clock.
Of course, we bring you the Smedlines.
Da-da-da-da.
And now, direct from the That Cave.
Stop laughing,
we
you're
give
breaking
you
the fourth wall.
Smedlines with Gene Holden.
There's no laughter in the Smed lines.
You don't want to break the illusion.
Hey, guys.
I really want some ticker tape sound effects
Back
like old
to
days.
the Smed lines. Okay. So, on... excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
There's a whole bunch of Kevin stuff. So let's get to it.
There's so much crap
So
in the air.
on July 18th, this was okay. I always want to be in LA, but I wanted to be in LA. Kevin was the quote unquote self-proclaimed sweaty MC at the Chinese Theater in LA. Mm-hmm. Stan Lee got his hands and his feet put into the cement, and it's official.
That is the worst ticker tape sound effect I've ever heard.
It sounds
in my
like
life.
a typewriter.
I
or
know. I'm
some,
like, this is not
old...
what this is not what I meant.
What is that?
I want that like old,
like
that old sound in the old days. Problem is, they're all too short.
So anyway, wouldn't you have loved to be there? We're like just random people there? I guess it is, right? You just go.
Huh?
You can just go to that event, right?
Which? No, you have to.
Did you have to buy tickets? Is that a buy ticket event?
Wait, I'm sorry. I was so busy looking for a ticker tape sound
So
effect.
we're doing the Smed lines. Kevin was the MC for when Stan Lee had his hands and his feet put in the cement for realsies.
Yes.
So was that an event that anyone could go to? I wonder if it was an event that you could buy tickets.
I'm sure. It was probably open to the public because
Okay.
a lot of those events are, but I don't know how that works.
Well, it's like every day there's an event.
You know who would? No, probably
Big Daddy.
I was thinking that.
Big Daddy Jimmy V.
Why didn't you set up an interview with Big Daddy?
Yes. We need...
And it's funny that he
I
came
love
up because
California.
I just sent him out. I've been thinking about him, and I sent him out a
I know.
tweet to
And
that effect because I really had.
I know, and I think about them. I think about California and I send something California-y. They're always like, when are you coming back? I'm like, oh my God, I think about it every day. You have no idea.
Let's see.
Our family...
Hopefully 3 years?
Our family is number one.
On the
Okay.
countdown?
So, isn't that awesome that he got to do that? I just
Yes,
get...
with Stan. And there was a lot of other very cool
Right.
people
Well,
involved
Kevin-
in that. I believe James Gunn was
Kevin
there.
got to meet James Gunn, and if you go onto Kevin's Twitter, you can see the picture, and it's awesome.
And
it's
he's been...
so cool. He's such a fan.
He's been waxing
The
rhapsodic
Guardians
about Guardians
of the Galaxy, too. It's an amazing
He brought
movie.
that up. I remember when we shifted from Aliens to Guardians.
Yeah. Guardians
Because-
is a great movie.
Yeah, it really
It's an amazing movie. It's so warm and cozy. And
Yeah.
It has that feeling. I don't know. The
Now we have-
nostalgic feeling. Okay.
Now, one of the movies that we've been wanting to see this summer came out, and we still haven't seen it yet, which is Valerian.
I know. I'm afraid.
Yeah, because it's getting 50-50 reviews.
Okay.
So, but that could mean, you know what? That doesn't mean anything.
Well, Jimmy V and I think Marin saw it, and they didn't.
Oh.
It was a bummer.
Oh.
It was a pooper.
Oh.
I know. Marin really hated it.
Ooh. That's
She didn't
not
like
good.
it. And she seems like, whatever. But you know what? I need to see it because Rihanna's in it.
Yeah, and here's another thing. It's also like Suicide Squad. Look at the reviews. People hated that.
They were crappy, and I loved it.
But yeah, I mean
It's eye candy.
The kids loved it.
It's eye candy, but to me, I still want to see it because it's eye candy. It reminds me of like an Avatar. It
Yeah,
has
it's
like
very cool.
The colors are amazing. I love that. All that.
Yeah, I really like the director. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So-
Carla Delevingne's in it. She's beautiful. Rihanna's in it.
Yeah.
There's some great looking people. Let's go see it for that. What the hell?
Well, we're going to see it.
All
And
right.
But what may happen now is the same weekend we may see that.
Yes, and that
Atomic
Atomic
Blonde
Blonde comes
with the
out. Now, the ratings for that are like 98%. So
Really?
let's go. Yeah.
Well, but it's not out yet.
No, but I think the premiere came out.
Oh, premiere.
The premiere was good. Okay, so let's
She's so
move on.
fucking sexy.
She's sexy as shit, and she is like,
She's
I
such a
mean,
turn on.
she's in her 40s, and and
She's
you know what,
fucking a
ladies?
knockout.
She's such a knockout.
Age is meaningless.
So listen, age is a number, and cut it out. Don't use it as an excuse.
All right, we're we're
Work
going-
it, girls.
we're the
Okay,
wrong
so
podcast.
anyway, don't worry about
Wrong
age.
show.
Don't worry about age. All right, so listen to this one. July 29th, SModcast is going to Britain. Isn't that going to be awesome?
Yes, because you know that Scott Mosier is in France
I know.
for like 3 years or something.
So they're going to be at the London Film and Comic-Con on July 29th, and they're doing a SModcast. So any of our friends there, get your tickets, because that's like that doesn't happen very often, to see Kevin and Scott Mosier. He's brilliant.
Dude, I'm so
jelly. Jelly.
Totes jelly,
Totes jelly. So like Ben.
That would sound like the fucking proverbial people who should not be talking like this.
Okay, so Ben and Lewis and all you gang, get over there. All right.
Now,
so let's
wait,
get
can
on.
I just circle back to wasn't there a little bit of controversy with the Stan Lee, what do you call it, when he put his prints in? Was someone not there, or did someone, excuse me, did someone get snubbed somehow or something?
I don't remember that. I don't remember reading that.
Was Ben Affleck there?
Oh, this is that's a whole different story. Do you? I haven't gotten to that story.
Oh, okay. So there's something. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to go. Actually, you know what? Let's chat about that because
no. I don't want to throw you off your game. If I'm taking shit out of school, well, we'll stick with your schedule now.
Well, I wanted to bring
because I know I have audio.
Kevin,
I know I have audio stuff.
Kevin's going to be directing Flash. He's going to be going over in January to do another Flash third episode. So that's awesome. Let's get into Ben Affleck. Okay.
No. Let's not. Let's talk about.
Okay.
Since
Do you want to talk about
into the
IMDb?
CW,
would you like to talk about IMDb?
Yeah, and the CW. Since you announced he's going to be directing.
Yes, directing. Okay,
another episode of Flash. I mean, it would seem natural.
Yes, and we have a little bit of a little snippet for you guys.
Now, hang on. Before.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how much awareness do you have of Kevin Smith's comic book writing background?
Me?
You personally.
All
right.
Batman Cacophony.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good. So, wow! Instantly, you wowed me. You are okay. So, I'll just give you credit for that, and we'll move on.
Yeah. Thumbs up. All right. So, 1 and 2.
All right. Now, before the Batman and all that,
right?
He actually wrote some other books for other companies, and one of them was Daredevil. So he wrote several issues for Daredevil.
Yes.
And he always says that his Daredevil was very much inspired by Frank Miller's Daredevil.
And that's the one that we're pretty much familiar with. Are we familiar with?
Daredevil people are very familiar with.
Okay.
Like he sort of he laid down an archetype.
Cool.
Like he made him Catholic because he was like the guy who said, only a Catholic has this much self-guilt. Things like that.
Yeah.
And so
that's cool though.
Yeah.
To think that deep about it.
Yeah, Frank Miller. That was before Frank Miller, I think, went crazy. But
that's so sad.
and went crazy right wing. Anyway, I keep saying that. Transition. Where was I? And the other book that he wowed a lot of people for bringing back because it was one of those sort of, a character that had fallen out of favor, had sort of fallen into the tragically unhip kind of role. One of DC's, and who also was actually dead. His character had been killed off in the comics. Yes. Kevin is responsible for literally bringing Green Arrow back from the dead.
Yeah.
And relaunching him. And people, I don't know who knows if any of our listeners were around at the time, but he really did make Green Arrow cool again.
Really?
He
I didn't know that it was that much.
Yeah, because I remember Green Arrow had sort of fallen out of favor and was sort of like an Aquaman character.
Yeah.
Like at that point, they were kind of like, oh yeah, a guy with a bow and arrow. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, now
in an era with fucking, I got tomahawks and guns and tomahawk missiles and yeah.
And the next time we see Aquaman, he's going to be this huge like.
Yeah, well, they're borrowing heavily from Marvel.
I'm good with that.
On that, they're doing. It seems like Aquaman is a lot more like Submariner than Aquaman ever was in DC's universe.
I love both.
But, all right, I don't care. I'm going far afoul.
Yes.
The reason I bring all this up is because Kevin Smith has serious Green Arrow comic book bona fides.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he brought that character, he literally brought that character back from the dead in the 90s or might have been early 2000s, but I think
has
it was
a lot to offer, absolutely.
And made it stick and made that character cool again, brought him to the consciousness. People can, there's so many, a lot of comic book people, I think, hate on Kevin as an interloper or whatever. I don't know. But
yeah, because people think you need to stick with this.
So it feels like, they want to begrudge him that, but they shouldn't. I remember at the time, he made Green Arrow cool again.
Yeah, like why would people begrudge that when it's someone's bringing it up and making it like big and fun again?
Now, where Kevin always runs into problems with comic books that pisses geeks off is he has problems with some delivery dates on stuff, and he's the first one to admit it. But anyway, so he has his genuine bona fides on Green Arrow. Now, historically, there was this little show called Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're on like their 6th season, or they're up there now. But back on their 1st season, it was reported somewhere. Some reporter asked someone, and I don't know who the fuck it was over there. I think it was a writer. Whoever it was, asked if, knowing Kevin's background, would they ever consider having Kevin Smith write and or direct an episode of Green Arrow or be involved.
Yeah.
They might even have been as they were creating it or whatever. And the answer felt, I will say, it felt a little harsh in tone. Like a very
Really?
Yeah, like, fuck no. I mean, it wasn't a fuck no. But, it kind of felt like it was like, why would we do that?
Oh, it wasn't a yes, is what you mean.
Yeah, it was much more it was like, it felt like, one, a dismissal, and two, like, they weren't even aware that Kevin really did, like, this wasn't just like them randomly pulling the Clerks guy. Like, Kevin did have bona fides, again, bringing that character back from the dead and making him cool again.
So maybe they didn't know. Maybe they didn't know that about him.
It felt like, or they didn't want to acknowledge it, or whoever that person was. And I don't know who it was, and maybe they're there on the show, maybe they're not. Maybe it was an offhanded. I don't know how that got fixed.
Right.
But part of it kind of did, because the same people responsible for that show are also responsible for Flash. And admittedly, Kevin didn't get on board on Arrow. And it might have been partially because he heard, like, a snub.
Yeah, but when you have the guy.
Well, he's not the guy, but I'm sure Kevin wouldn't say he's the guy, but he does have props.
No, I mean, Stephen Amell is the guy.
Oh yeah. So, okay. So anyway, but I've also read old articles where he may have been asked and Stephen Amell said, I don't know, or, wasn't aware.
But
so anyway, so I want to say, before we preface this, I'm giving this news story a lot of fucking rope.
Yeah.
But you want to know the background to this.
Yeah, I do. I'm glad you did, because I didn't know all that.
It makes the achievement all the more sweeter. Because, so then he started directing, as you know, for Flash, and he started directing for then Supergirl. And everybody says he's wonderful.
Right.
The only show, well, he hasn't done Legends, but because the man has a background with Green Arrow. Why had they waited? Why hadn't that happened yet? And so, folks, I believe the news story that came out is what? Should I play it or just?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome.
When did this occur?
This was
today?
That was
yesterday.
It was yesterday at the San Diego Comic-Con.
And Kevin is working this IMDb.
Right, the IMDb boat.
Yeah, and it's.
Yeah, and it was
I can see why Kevin would love to do this gig.
It was
every
one of the
year.
first days. It's probably Friday, but it was one of the first days.
What
Thursday,
a great
Friday.
gig! Kevin just has to show up.
I know,
and interview people.
But listen, guys. And you know him, like the people that are listening to the show. He's just a fan guy.
He talks about it on his podcast, and like how often the reaction from the people he's about to interview is like, "Oh, why are you here?"
I know. They're like, "Wait," because he's the biggest fan, and he gets so excited.
Yeah, he does.
But okay, can you imagine someone interviewing you like that? Like, oh my God, thank you, God.
I want to say something. I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit.
Okay.
What Kevin Smith is a genius.
He really
because
is.
He knows how to make someone else exciting.
Yes, and feel good about themselves.
Obviously that is definitely a byproduct
Right.
of
a
how
byproduct. You're right.
because
it is.
of his positivity.
Yes.
But he also has this ability to make the seemingly uninteresting fascinating. For instance,
Yeah.
I mean, I love Buckaroo Banzai, but did you ever hear him talk about it?
Yeah.
He makes it so
It's
amazing.
like the greatest show ever.
Like you want to go watch it right then.
And I did want to watch it. I never watched it back then, but damn straight I wanted to watch it when he was talking about it.
Some would say that's the power of a good salesman.
Yeah, but I didn't see, like what he saw, I didn't see because I don't know.
And his secret, I almost spilled
Very
coffee on myself.
He's a very
Is,
enthusiastic.
yes, he has if he has a superpower, it's
Right.
a boundless well of enthusiasm. I am a Robin of enthusiasm to his Batman of enthusiasm.
Okay.
I am a mere sketch.
Okay.
He is a master.
Yeah, but you have the ability to be a Batman too. It's just in this respect. In this respect,
he is so good.
He really is good. He really is good. He's a fanboy. He just remembers that number one thing. I'm a fan first, and it just makes everything good.
It's so amazing. Even when I see his strings, I love him. And I'm using his term.
I know.
I'm using his term on him.
So we can move on.
I may as well throw the shout out now.
Yeah. So let's
wait.
talk.
Let's not wrap up the news. Okay, sorry.
Well, yeah,
we are
have,
still in the SMed line.
Scott, we have like a lot more to do.
I know.
Okay, so
have I even played the thing yet?
You have not played it. Let's play it.
All right.
This is okay. Let's just do a little
You've
thing.
already heard it. Now you're hearing it here.
He's IMDb boat. You can IMDb boat. The cast of Arrow
Yeah, they're doing an interview.
is sitting
they're talking
before,
about the next
and they're
season.
talking about the next season. Talking a little bit about Canada.
And
Go.
here you go.
You kids are doing the Lord's work up in Vancouver.
I mean, amen. You have an open invitation to come and direct an episode.
I'll come there in a heartbeat, man. He said it on camera. I'll come take a job instantly. I got a job, ladies and gentlemen.
He said
He's
it
got
on
a
camera.
job.
I love how he goes, he said it on camera, folks. You can't take it back now.
Damn, was he on camera?
Well, you know what he could go? He could go, well, actually what I said is you could also, he didn't actually
come
say.
and watch.
I think there is some argument to be made if he actually said direct an episode. No, I'm kidding. Fucking congratulations, sir.
Yes, but
Way to go. I know,
Amen.
as I've laid out, I think this is a particularly sweet sort of
it really is.
win, or not even a win. It's more like a win over.
Yeah, and the man himself invited him
yeah,
on. So
yeah.
hey, what can you say no to him? No. So
Wow. And he's had, so it's like Stan Lee and him have been in the news a lot. And here's the one thing I wonder. I know the putting his feet in and everything, but his wife just passed, you know? I wonder what that was like.
I know, and she wasn't able to experience it.
But here was what I would think. I know, here's why I think he didn't cancel. She wouldn't want him to cancel.
No.
Exactly.
No, because
exactly.
she would have been.
Yeah.
Or was she going to do it too? I don't know.
No, she's his wife.
I don't know.
She's a cool lady, and I've seen her in interviews and everything. She's British. She was British. And everything.
See, I didn't know a lot about her, but people were just saying how
she was his booster.
They just
she was,
adore her.
She was
Well,
and his
that's-
backbone, and they danced together.
That's what you know.
They have been together so long,
And I'm sure he was a lot of that for her too.
Yeah, and I was thinking about wow. So I was like, wow. I wonder why he didn't cancel. And then the thought came on me. Yeah, I know. Just from the very little I know, I'm sure his wife would be like, "You got to put your feet in the fucking concrete, boy. You know, you have to do this. You have to do it for me."
My heart breaks because it's got to be a scary time because he's older and he's an old man.
But I think that maybe it's good that Kevin's giving him work in Mallrats. I mean, not giving him work, but essentially that is all purpose. That is all keeping people close.
Scott just said it, but in a weird way, that Stanley will be in Jay and Silent Bob Rebooted.
Oh, yeah. I figured everybody knew that, but yeah.
No, yes.
That's big news, too.
That's big news.
That's another news that came out.
So let's keep moving on.
I anticipated that, though.
So he also interviewed, so we're just going to go down the list of some people that was kind of fun. Rick and Morty.
Ah, yeah.
Dan Harmon.
Ooh, we got something in the works on there.
Yeah.
Because I love that show. I love
Ryan Ridley, a couple of the others. Stranger Things, season 2 is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
He he spent a little time with Adam Savage. We all know Adam Savage. from Mythbusters.
Oh, yeah.
And Adam Savage, okay, you guys can go on Kevin's Twitter. It's awesome because you can see the picture. Adam Savage showed him the his real replica Excalibur sword. Yes. And you know how you guys don't know how excited I was when I saw it. I was like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me.
And I will have to say, just for the as soon as Jean started telling me about it, she didn't have all the particulars down. Like she didn't.
I didn't. I was still
she wasn't
working
sure whose sword it was, if it was.
And what's the name of it? John Borman replica.
Well, he's the one who directed.
Who directed the movie? Correct.
Yeah. As soon as you told me some of the, I said I knew it was Adam Savage's sword because I just know that he's really into prop collecting.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
he's a cool guy, and I'm
he really is. He's a cool guy. He's an atheist.
Adam Savage, and he's the one who shared the picture, and he's like, "This was today. I met Kevin, and then I showed him my sword."
He's like another really cool
fan guy.
Yeah, he really is.
He would be an awesome guy to meet. There's just some people that
he'd be fun.
Let's move on.
But hey, so yeah, they bust out the sword, man, and
it's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah,
it's a replica. I know. They're so.
I dreamt of the dragon. I have awoken him.
I'm sure you did. Okay, so let's move on.
I love Excalibur.
And then I know you do. Luke Cage. He interviewed Luke Cage, Mike Coulter, season 2 coming on. Now the next season is actually being filmed.
Next season? Wait, I'm sorry.
Next season of Luke Cage is actually filming now in New York City. Okay. I mean, not right this minute, but in New York City now.
But he's at the IMDb book.
Yes, he did. Yes. Doctor Who was involved. That was a little bit of a fun thing. They were talking about the new female.
Yes,
Doctor Who.
That's all. All a craziness.
All Doctor Who fans are happy. All those other people who gives a shit about them because they don't get it. Obviously,
I would. If a being. Here's my case. It's actually fucking weird, even numerically or mathematically. If you had a being that could regenerate,
right,
and thus far has not regenerated into a female,
right,
that's mathematically odd. So I'm glad they're starting to correct it.
2 last things he did. Oh no, I wanted to talk about the Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck thing.
So
I'll wait until the very end. No, there's 2 more.
Okay.
He did interview Sir Davos, the Liam Cunningham from Lord of the Rings. Not Lord of the Rings. Jeez, Gene. Game of Thrones.
Thank you. That's all right.
And
easy to do.
Yes.
Game of Thrones is Cameron's Lord of the Rings.
Right, and also Ramsey too. What's his name?
Ramsey. He interviewed Ramsey Bolton.
I can't say his name wrong. Ewan Rion or something like that.
Okay.
Iwan. Yeah, and he also interviewed Ramsey, which was fucked up.
He must have loved that.
Yeah. And
God, I gotta watch some of this shit.
Okay,
before I
so
pull it down.
Right. Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. They talked a little bit about that.
Yeah. I have not seen the first season. So yeah, I gotta find the first season and watch it because I liked that man as a writer. I never read those books, but I always thought it was a good concept.
Right, and Frodo's in it. I never knew that either.
And the man is Douglas Adams, who created this character.
Yeah.
He's most known for Guardians, for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I know, with the galaxy word.
And, but he had other series that was lesser known, but many people liked, and enjoyed, and it was called Dirk Gentry's Holistic Detective. So apparently the series is a hit because it's gotten renewed. Hello.
I'm
still
here.
There. Am I listening?
So this is let's go on to Ben Affleck, Kevin Smith. Kevin made a remark about, he brought up the Chasing Amy.
What is
saying, speaking about the kiss, the kiss that Ben Affleck and God, why am I Jason Lee had in that movie?
Okay,
saying that's the hardest thing a man could do in. Now that got some backlash.
Stop. Where was he when he said it? And did Kevin say it or did Ben say it?
Kevin said that.
Okay, where did he say it?
He was at an event, and that...
Which event, do you know? Was it like the Paley Center or something like that?
I don't know that exact part.
And he was talking about it as a legitimate acting challenge.
Well, yeah.
And was framing it as one of the hardest things that I guess a straight actor has to do is pretend to be gay and kiss another man.
Right. Now, and that got some backlash because there's so many other things that are worse, I guess.
Obviously.
But I think it got a little over. I think it got blown.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those things that people sort of may want to overreact to.
Right.
You know, like, oh, I don't know. If anything, there is a problem on the left that I will define as the Judean People's Front and the People's Front of Judea problem. You know, it's laid out very well in Monty Python's Life of Bryan. All that shit.
It was at Outfest, which is a film fest in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And it was said makes it
in some respects he was kind of pandering to a gay crowd.
Yeah.
Or not pandering, but you know, being recognizing that there are other people in the world that's different.
Right, and basically Smith recalled Affleck, and I'll read the quote, "A man kissing another man is the greatest acting challenge an actor can ever face." Once the scene was filmed, he declared, "Now I'm a serious actor." Yeah, so you can take that in different ways. And I think
he's saying that that's what Ben said?
He did say it. He recalls him saying that to him.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then, so what happens is now...
There's a back.
That recollection is out of context.
Right. And Kevin apologized. And because you know where his heart is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And he loves Ben Affleck.
Yeah, if Kevin recalled it, he probably wouldn't.
Right. And he would never... And you know him and his kids and his...
Unless, like, his next line was... What an idiot, you know, or something.
Right. And he would never like his. I don't know. He's
all right.
Anyway,
I'm sure he didn't bring it up to shit on fucking Ben.
No, I think he was trying to, bring everybody into,
Yeah. It's one of those fucking.
He was trying to unite people, and it kind of.
It's just one of those. It's, you know what it is? It's one of those moments like that woman, who, if you read. So you've been publicly shamed.
Oh, I know. It's just an unfortunate thing.
The woman who said, "Oh, I've got to go to Africa," or something. She made an AIDS comment. But if you knew her joke in context,
I know.
It was supposed to be meant one way.
Right.
However,
but
if you just coldly read it as someone who was being a dick or obnoxious because you don't know this person or you don't understand the subtleties of satire or whatever.
Right.
And then groupthink takes hold, you can destroy a person's life.
Right. And as soon as that happens, there's not even any thought.
It's mob mentality.
And then as soon as that happens, it's just like a bully.
Because I remember hearing about that and saying, "What a fucking bitch."
I know. That's your first thought. Because
you know why? Because I didn't know any context.
But like, how many of us are guilty?
But you know what? I don't remember being moved to go shame her.
No.
You know?
No, because
there's
all
only
of us
one
have
guy
thoughts.
I shame right now, and that's Donald Trump on my
all
other
of us
show.
have like thoughts like that, and I really genuinely
and
think
that's punching up.
She didn't mean to all that shit. But anyway, Kevin,
you never punched.
Kevin didn't mean that shit.
Yeah.
What he meant was nothing like anyone's taking it. But that this will all fizzle out and it'll be fine. So
this is no Too Fat to Fly.
No, it is not. No. So that's the Smedlines.
Does it really say that? Oh, hang on. I gotta go find the fucking. I wasn't ready for it to be over. I don't know.
Stop mumbling.
Dephone, Foghorn, Saigon.
This has been the Smedlines with Gene Holden.
I hope we. Oh, fuck. Oh well. We may as well keep going. We're missing.
We're missing Game of Thrones.
Fuck. Oh well.
Can't we go back and listen? And watch
it's on again in an hour or so.
Oh, we'll watch it then.
We'll be all right. Yeah. We're just not RTing, and we can't live tweet or anything. No,
you can't live tweet. Well, it'll be all right.
I'm kidding. I never do.
How can you really watch it while you're live tweeting? I guess you can.
Yeah. All right. Well, all we actually have to do is intro our guest. right now.
It's an awesome show, and I hope you guys like it.
Well, yeah, coming up is, as we teased earlier in the show, our interview with Brett Murray. And we have a lot of fun. I'm going to stop building it up because I do another build-up in a moment after you hear the goofy theme.
The build-ups are never ending.
Yeah, we just move from build-up to build-up to build-up.
People like that.
Yes, of course. All right, here we go, folks.
And now, here's our guest.
All right, joining us now, I guess now a longtime friend of the show. He's been on before. He's a Jersey boy transplanted to the land of Scots.
The Scotsman.
Yes, a transplanted Scot.
Transplanted Scot.
Yeah, I like that.
Me too.
We had if you remember, we had him on for a Brexit episode.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't Brexit. It was the separation.
It was Scottish independence.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was pre-Brexit.
Pre.
And but what you probably most know him for is he's producer for the film Shooting Clerks. And so, welcome back, Brett Murray.
Hi there, everybody. Great to be back, Scott. Thanks very much.
It's great to have you back, man. So you guys totally got in to this big Kevin Smith birthday
jamboree celebration
in Red Bank, where they're having trying to break the record of cosplayers for Jay and Silent Bob.
Right.
And so you probably will have an audience full of nothing but Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh my God.
It's going to be fucking surreal.
I can picture it now. It should be,
I know, right?
It's going to be fucking surreal.
I know. That's so awesome.
So tell us how this all came together, sir.
Right.
And tell us about, wait, actually, you know what? Let's go back because you guys came in Jersey about back in summer, or when was that? Was it
November.
It was autumn. It was last year. In 2016, it was the end of October that we were down in Florida for a couple film festivals.
That's
and
right.
Then we had an early bird tour. We did a preview screening in a couple locations in Jersey and New York in the start of November, to the middle of November, I think.
Right.
So it was then that was when we had quite a few of us out and about, and that was good. That was the first time putting Shooting Clerks in front of any sort of sizable audience that wasn't primarily just friends and family. And so that was a nerve-wracking but exciting kind of experience.
Yeah, and you guys had to do it 3 times in a row. But you got better with each one. You got it tighter.
Yeah, and I think sort of doing stuff like doing the Q&As, you kind of you get used to talking to people and anticipating sort of what people are going to find interesting about the film itself and about us and about sort of getting to talk about our journey rather than talking about Kevin's journey.
Right.
How'd you get the cat to shit on command? I'm sorry.
Oh, we didn't let it all day. But yeah, that was quite fun. It was quite fun going around with the group that we had. We had Beverly, who plays Kevin's mom in the film. We had Stephanie, who plays Lisa Spoonhour. We had Jay Booten, who plays Dave Klein. Chris Bain was in for a little while from Scotland. He plays Muse.
He's like a superstar. He's blowing up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's the one to watch.
He really is. I'm not joking. I see him. He's going for it.
Yep, he is.
And he's getting booked.
Yeah. Keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
But no, it was great to have our little. It was almost like going on tour with a band, where where you kind of get into the groove and you're there to not exactly perform, but you're there for sort of an experience. You're there to entertain an audience.
And you won an award.
Enjoying at the same time.
Well, and you're there to market yourself too.
You won a couple, actually, I think.
Yeah, that was so in the October leg of our journey. We were down in
fall tour.
We were down in Orlando. That was the the first time that a completed version had been shown in front of an audience, and that was a proper like big sized cinema. There was maybe 200, 300 seats, and it was a pretty full house.
Wow, how exciting!
Didn't you guys have to like re-edit the whole thing the night before or something?
Oh yeah, okay. Well,
because like the disc crashed, or there was a hardware issue.
There was something with the laptop.
Recall this story.
It was like a laptop story.
Yeah, it happened almost twice in a row actually. But for the buildup of the screening in Orlando, it was literally the morning of that screening. One of the organizers had come up and said, we don't have a cut of the film yet, and I just sort of had to put on a smile and be like, "Oh, it'll be here. Don't worry. We're on at 6:00. So what will be the latest you could load it up?" And he was like, "Oh, well, 4 or 5 o'clock, but I'd like it before the." You're like, "Okay, that'll be fine." And so I think we got it to him just at about 4 or 5 o'clock because our second unit director and our co-producer Ryan James, along with the director Christopher Downey, they were essentially re-editing the whole film.
Jesus Christ.
We hit a point where we were due to catch our plane within 12 hours flying out of
That sounded worse than it was. My headphone just connected with my mic, so it made a bump.
Hit his head.
It probably sounded like I fell or something. But anyway, sorry about that.
That's okay. So we were at a point where it was less than 12 hours to our flight flying out of Edinburgh to come down to Orlando.
Oh my God.
The film, its estimated rendering time was 36 hours. Ooh. And we were like, that's bad.
We don't have that much time.
It's either A, your computer doesn't have enough horsepower, or it's just too big a file.
It's a big file.
We tried using a function to sort of export the project to a hard drive so that we could just take the hard drive.
Yeah.
That was still coming in at about 12 hours estimate. And so the only option, we were like, let's just take the whole computer with us. And we did. And we loaded it up into the plane and we took it with us.
So I assume
we had
you're editing on Final Cut?
We were using Adobe Premiere Pro.
Okay. So it's not one of those new ones where everything's up online. Like you load everything up to their service essentially nowadays, and the back end's on their end.
Maybe that would have helped, but
but you have to pay a monthly fee for that.
Yeah.
So they get you either way.
It's expensive enough, but
yeah, I'm like seeing a lot of that now because we're deep in the editing process. The first thing I've learned is much of that work is far too tedious for me. Like the logging footage, and then syncing. I am so glad that I'm working with someone who knows what they're doing.
Because it's crazy.
Yeah, it's
you
crazy.
can get in some crazy situations with that shit.
Yeah, and like
totally.
I've already had things like trying to get him files. Oh well, because I compressed it. When he gets it, he can't load it right, or shit like that. Just
yeah, totally.
So working with the data is a whole new mess to get into.
It's a whole new web of challenges.
And then adding travel, is like the great randomizer.
So you had the computer, and who had the computer? Was that Ryan that had the computer?
Yeah, well, we took it was Downey's computer, and we unplugged the PC. And loaded it up, and eventually we got on the plane and flew across the Atlantic, and then down to Florida, and we were there, and we were like, okay, great, let's grab a quick bite to eat, and then we'll all just open up the computer and we'll see how it goes. And so basically, you flash forward to the next day, and we haven't seen or heard from either Ryan or Downey in the whole day.
That's right. That's right.
God.
Myself and Bane and Jay, we had gone out for some food, for some drinks.
Yeah.
And the next day they were nowhere to be found. So we got in touch with them later on. We were like, "Where are you?" They were like, "This whole thing has just gone down the can. It is an absolute nightmare." But they were using some computers at the college that Ryan had gone to, which were much more high powered than what Downey had been using at his own home.
So they could process the data faster.
That ended up speeding up the process a little bit, but it was still the big hurdle of trying to link all the footage back together because simply because the computer got chucked around on the plane, the file was corrupted.
Oh.
They had to reassemble piece by piece, essentially, scene by scene.
Oh my god,
that's a nightmare.
But it's one of those things that, like,
my god, this movie's a miracle.
Yes.
It was an absolute miracle.
See, okay, now here's the downside. Like, okay, I find that the most interesting films have also interesting backstories.
Yeah, this
Clerks,
is fun.
Tusk.
It's true.
This is kind of like that too, because man, like you're doing a biodrama or a docudrama about real life events that are interesting and that potential for disaster is high,
yes.
And then you're experiencing the exact same thing in your process.
Yeah.
So it's
So it really wouldn't be the right movie if it didn't have all these issues.
So I see this as being a clinical scene in Shooting Clerks. Is what I'm saying.
When the time comes, definitely.
This might be a pivotal moment in the film. Of your film, of Kevin's film.
It's true.
Dude.
Eventually.
So, all right. Let's talk about, though. All right. So that was rough, but you had what, by my experience, just, in the way I was able to participate in it, a really great 3-day run of films or whatever it was. It was at least 3 dates. So what has been and you also had the film festival in Florida.
Right, and that's where they had won the award.
Yeah,
so they didn't get to finish that part.
Yeah, so what was that like? What are the accolades like? What's that been like? Because for so long, we've been with you on the journey of, is this thing ever coming out?
Yeah.
Now take us on the journey of, it's out and it's wonderful.
Yeah. So the Florida festival was great because in Orlando, it was... It finally felt like we were part of a filmmaking community rather than being sort of off to the side and quite kind of distant. Yeah. The city where we live in Dundee in Scotland, it's very it's a small kind of creative city, but we don't know many other filmmakers here. So to suddenly come to somewhere like Orlando, where it was a
Disney town.
Yeah,
and that's I don't say that as a diss. Disney brings show business. Disney brings show, but that whole town is Disney show business town.
Yeah.
So
So to kind of to step into that environment and just to meet other people who they were showing short films and features and animations and documentaries and all kinds.
I think the Dave School is there too.
We have a week. We have a week to sort of sit there and enjoy everyone else's films, and then our film was almost like the culminating piece. There were 2 movies that premiered on the final night of the festival, right before the award ceremony, and ours was one of the 2. So essentially, on the final night, when everyone who was attending was there, you were either seeing our film or someone else's film. Nothing else was on, so it was kind of like all this pressure that slowly built up throughout the week.
And here's the thing, but then it's a real movie.
Oh yeah,
having seen it, I know it's a real movie.
Yeah,
and I guess there might be some sort of like anticipation that it feels budgety or but it really is a real movie.
Yeah, I think to have that, to have gone through that screening from the end of, we also, it was a double bill with Film Hawk, the documentary about Bob Hawke,
that's right. Yes,
everything. Who's such a wonderful,
and that's when you were able to meet Bob, right? Is that the first time you guys met Bob?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
he'll be there, by the way.
He's crazy about you guys. He loves you guys.
Yeah, he's going to be there on the 5th.
Sweet, knowledgeable guy. But
we're doing that Skype thing.
Yeah.
So that because we am I trying to say? So we had the double bill with Film Hawk, the Bob Hawk documentary,
awesome.
And as soon as that finished, everyone's stomachs just ran cold. We were like, oh boy, is this going to go off? Because we all went out to go and get a drink or to go and use the bathroom, and the lobby was just flooded with people, and we were like, oh, this has got to be for the other film, because
dude, it was like
surely anyone who wanted to see Shooting Clerks would have been in for Film Hawk as well. But I asked someone, I was like, are you really here for our film? They were like, oh yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, totally. Well, first of all, yeah, because not every Kevin Smith fan knows Bob Hawk, but you're guaranteed that anyone who's in that Bob Hawk movie is going to be sticking around for yours. So
yeah.
So then to over the space of maybe 20 minutes, from sitting back down and being like, okay, this is it, to then suddenly getting the first big laugh where in the film Kevin meets Jason Mewes.
Oh my God.
Such a triumphant moment to be like, holy crap, it's working. Yeah. Like they're liking it. And I think we surprised a lot of people at that event as well, because it was the first public screening, and because we had overheard some other people being like, oh, I don't really know what this is. Is it just a documentary? Haven't they already covered this ground with the snowball effect?
Yeah.
But we just kind of stayed quiet because we were like, well, if they're interested, they'll come and see it.
Right.
And if not, then
and people had like different expectations of what they thought it was going to be, and
and I think that even if it was, I mean, it's a real movie. But I think the thing that really took people by surprise was it had heart, which was Bob Hawk's
oh my God,
best compliment of the movie is like, this thing has heart. It has
so
a soul.
Much heart. It's got so much love.
Exactly. This was a love letter. It's not a ripoff.
Yeah, it's not like, okay, this is like a cheesy movie about Kevin and we just love him.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't feel like exploitation.
Right, you can tell
like genuine love.
You guys put so much heart and love and just like dedication into it. It's.
And I have to say, even in my little small way, I'm so proud to be a part of it in any way.
Yeah.
But the fact that, again, that I got to play a hero of mine, you have no idea. I mean, I was a huge Howard Stern guy growing up.
Yeah, you have no idea how much that meant.
So the fact that I got to play him for a brief second, and that somewhere in the world, if someone IMDb's, people that played Howard Stern, and I come up, I am like beside myself. So
yeah,
I thank you.
Well, you can imagine how I felt playing Bryan Johnson.
I know,
hey, man. And that's the funny thing. That's right.
I can't even go into it.
I forget it's fucking you, dude.
You're amazing. And you know what?
Let's
not talk too much
because
it's
you.
There's
you
people
hit that tone.
Listen, we can't have any spoilers. There's people that haven't seen it yet. No spoilers. You can't spoil your own movie.
I mean, obviously, Bryan Johnson's going to be in it.
I know, but it's so good. Like that's great. That whole thing is great. That was you. Yeah, we don't want.
Now we're just sucking the film's dick.
I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but that was sure.
Well, you can see it August 5th in Red Bank, New Jersey.
Yeah, but he wants us to suck its dick because he's on the show now.
August 5th, Red Bank, New Jersey. Where can we get tickets? And tell us about that real quick before we forget.
Yeah, but there's more add-ons to that. It's not only August 5th.
I got you, but let's at least open the door and get the plugs out.
So we're our entourage. We will be in the area from August 3rd through until the 14th, I believe.
Wow, so you're going to be 11 days in the States.
Wow. Would any of you guys want to come down maybe to the studio and sit in and have that kind of fun if you still have the time?
Yeah,
it would be really cool.
Depends on what we're doing because we might be filming something else while we're there. I can't give anything else away. But,
I think I understand. I think I understand where this is going.
Might be a busier time than
Dude,
it looks.
If so, I bet you'll be featured in an app.
Maybe.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That makes total sense. All of this makes sense now.
Yes.
All of this makes sense.
Come on. Don't tell anybody.
You could knock me over with a feather.
Don't tell anybody.
Not a soul. My lips are sealed. But that's awesome. Congratulations.
Oh my God, you guys are so cool.
Congratulations. So, I mean, if I was a person, a filmmaker, and had such an opportunity, I guess I would try to be lining up some sort of distribution with that date.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
we're looking at. I mean, in terms of that end of the film, we're looking at a couple different options. But it was quite. This whole trip, admittedly, was a little last minute to sort of organize.
Yeah.
But we got into the Monmouth County Film Festival first. But at that point, it was like, I don't know if we'll have the money to sort of accommodate, going back to New Jersey unless there's more of a bigger kind of payoff.
When is that?
Then the following month, Kevin announced the world record attempt jamboree, as he said. And then we were like, okay, this might be an idea to try and organize something. So from that point, it's sort of been a bit of a rush to try and just get the finances in place to make sure we can bring over members of the cast and the crew, and to try and rent out different spaces, and to make sure that people can get a good experience from seeing the film.
Yeah,
again.
the experience. You want it to be the best it can be. Exactly.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this has to come together within like 2-3 weeks.
You totally get it. And
notice.
you need help, so tell everybody how they can help you guys.
We keep stepping on it.
Absolutely. Well, so it all kicks off on August 5th. That is the day of the Kevin Smith Jamboree. We are doing a screening at the cinema in Atlantic Highlands. That's the movie theater that Kevin would have gone to as a kid. It's where we showed it last time. We're going back there. That's August 5th at 8 p.m. You can get tickets at buytickets.at/Shooting Clerks. They are $37 on the nose. Thought everyone would appreciate that.
And from what I hear, they're moving quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I hear they're moving quick.
We've been on sale for a couple days now, and we're about halfway through. Halfway through the sales.
Good for you.
So if you're gonna get them quick. Or you'll regret it.
Yeah.
It's all going to a good cause.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, dude, you guys work for this. You celebrate. If you don't do it, who will?
Yeah. That screening, that's when we're hoping everyone will show up in costume.
Yes, Jay and Silent Bob.
On the ballot, we have got Bryan O'Halloran should be coming down. Scott Schiaffos should be coming down. Bob Hawke should be stopping by as well.
Yes.
As well as Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes themselves.
That is so awesome.
We actually saw Bob a couple weeks ago, or a week
he's
ago.
in great spirits. He's
he's glowing.
He's glowing. He loves because he loves all of us. He loves Clerks. He loves Kevin. He loves everything about it. So, and it wasn't for him, there wouldn't be any Clerks.
Yeah. It all goes back to him.
It does.
He is patient zero.
He's like the angel. Well, and Kevin even said Bob Hawke's his angel, so his angel will be there, and he's good luck.
Yes.
The one question we keep getting asked is, has Kevin Smith seen the film yet? The answer is no, but you can be there in the cinema when he does.
I know.
Because it'll literally be the first time.
Really?
He sees the movie.
Oh my God, you guys are going to be full of goosebumps.
That's going to be interesting if that's true, because that means he has to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, if it's your first opportunity, you really got to watch it, which means, because usually when Kevin does screenings, he bops out during the screening, because usually it's his movie that he's seen like 1,000 times.
But this he'll
So him actually being there means he'll hear your reactions in the crowd.
That's huge.
More like I think that the audience will be silent as we all listen to his reaction.
I know.
Oh man, it's that I'm really psyched about this.
It's a dream come true. I'm so proud of you guys.
A really fun night. It's gonna be a long day, folks. So if you're like us and you're gonna be cosplaying and all that, prep.
There's a lot of prep, and it's hot. Remember, it's hot.
Just in and of itself, it's a 12-hour stretch between when you're supposed to check in and when your movie is.
Yeah, and just remember the Silent Bobs. The trench coat. It's going to be like 100 degrees. Yeah. So just kind of, get some backup clothes. Maybe like you might have to undo a little bit, later.
You're going to put a little charcoal on your face there, Gene?
Yes.
Because you're going to have to be the Silent Bob.
I will be the Silent Bob.
So
obviously,
we will. I'm the J.
Yeah, you're the
Makes
J.
total sense.
You're more the J.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just kind of prep because we don't want anybody like passing out before the movie and like with heat stroke and all that shit. So just do a lot of prep before.
What's your opinion on people who actually come not truly as Silent Bob, but come as Kevin Smith?
Oh yeah, well they get in
jerseys.
we're trying to figure
Do they
this out.
count towards the total?
I don't know actually, because I heard there's actually the because it's an official Guinness World Record attempt. It's actually a there are some constraints involved.
There's some very specific rules for you to be like because you need to dress up to even be accepted into it.
Gene and I had this discussion on the last episode.
Yeah.
And I took a much more liberal position, but
no.
I think I'm incorrect.
So
if you are going,
go to the Stash website and read every line of the directions because if you don't, you're going to be turned away.
Yeah.
And Walter. He's not going to play any games.
Yeah.
So, right? He's not going to play.
You wear whatever you want to the screening, but the event.
Oh yeah. We're not talking about the screening. We're talking about the Jay and Silent Bob part. Yeah.
Hey, do you know if Vinny will be there?
I don't. We've gotten in touch with Ernie O'Donnell. Should be back.
Oh, cool, Ernie.
And he occasionally sees Vinny and Mike Bellicose, so we're gonna see if we can get them involved, but unconfirmed as of yet.
I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up, even if he just didn't announce it.
Yeah, because Vinny's a huge.
He's that kind of guy.
Yeah, Vinny's.
He's an interesting guy.
But that's all in the 5th. That will be the extravaganza of a day.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it could be full of surprises anyway.
Yeah, we're doing it all again. Well, not all again, but some of it again. The next day, we're going back to the Brightside Tavern on August 6th.
Wow, that's that was the Sunday night, right?
Yeah,
that was a nice gig.
Yeah, that was actually, I think that was one of my favorite screenings so far. I don't know if it was just because like it was in a bar and everyone had a couple drinks and it made it funnier.
I just remember O'Halloran was moved to tears at that one.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Well, that was one of the most interesting components was the Q&A with that afterwards, because we'd already met O'Halloran and we met Scott Schiaffo. We kind of broke the ice with them in the previous screening, so to have that, it was sort of like seeing them again, and a bit of it was almost like the comedic veneer kind of fell away slightly, and they were a little more genuine about, wow, you actually made this, and
it was like Real World.
Yeah.
When people drop their guard and start getting real.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're going back there. We're doing that all over again. That should be awesome.
And the woman who put that together was really cool.
If you check out Brightside Tavern's Facebook page, they've got the link up there.
Yeah, what was her name?
So that'll be the 6th?
That's the 6th, yeah.
On Sunday.
6th.
Cool.
Who is that woman? Her last name's Madsen.
The woman who put it together.
Madsen.
Laura Madsen.
Laura Madsen. I love her.
She doing it again?
Yeah, she should be there. Yep, she's putting the word out for us as well.
Yeah.
So
check out her, and she's kind of hot too.
Listen to you.
She is.
Keep it in your pants there, lady.
I'm just saying, she is.
All right, wrong show. All right, moving on.
She is.
That's your other podcast, isn't it?
Yes, it is indeed.
But she is.
Anyway, let's stay on topic here.
We're doing one more screening, and that will be at the Monmouth County Film Festival, and that's over the course of the following weekend.
That is so cool.
Our screening again, it's on the Sunday just before the awards ceremony, so it's on Sunday the 13th. And if you check out their website, Monmouth County Film Festival, then you can get tickets to go to that one as well.
So, do you know if you're getting an award, or you have to wait till you you have to wait till you get there?
It depends on the fest.
I don't know. I mean, I'm always the optimist, so I don't know how many we're getting. But
I was going to say at least 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah, well, of course, best picture,
best everything.
Yeah. We'll see. It would be nice to add on some more laurels to the poster and everything, but
that was the perfect response, by the way. What you said was the perfect response.
Well, I think since they have a category for best real event turned into a biodrama. No, boy, that was going nowhere. Whew. Where's my fucking Hindenburg thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is the most horrible experience. That just went down the toilet. But if I play that, I'll lose Brett.
Yeah.
All right. Reset here. So I cut you off. What's the ride been like? So now that the movie's sort of out there and people are seeing it and telling you what they think, what's this been like? I mean, I assume you guys are either trying to get are you doing that whole thing? Distributor? Are you going to self-distribute or?
Currently we're looking at trying to hit sort of a Blu-ray and DVD and video on demand release either the end of this year or the start of next year. It kind of depends on waiting for a deal that's right to come along for us.
Right.
Because we've had some people who are interested.
All right, we want to take a moment to talk about Death Wish Coffee. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor and get over to deathwishcoffee.com. And there you can buy the strongest coffee known to man without a prescription.
The world's strongest coffee ever.
Yes, as proudly displayed on my wife's sweatshirt over there.
Yes, on my body, on my mug,
on
my
K-cups.
K-cups.
Yes, and you'll know them by their telling sign of the skull and crossbones.
It's
that tells
so
you
good.
Exactly what you're in for. That used to be the international symbol for poison, but now it is the symbol for good damn coffee.
It's awesome. Without milk, with milk, you don't really need it because it's strong.
But
it's
not bitter?
Not bitter. So you don't even need milk. You don't even need sugar, but you can add it if you'd like. It's just really, really the perfect, strongest, most awesome coffee.
Become a junkie of Death Wish, just like the Anderson Council. And
we got him hooked.
Again, deathwishcoffee.com. Thank you very much.
Enjoy it.
I want to take this time to mention to you www.audibletrial.com/ThatMan on Fatman. That's right, www.audibletrial.com/ThatMan on Fatman. That's one word, conjunctified. Go there. Sign up for your free 30-day free trial. Sign up. Get a free book. A free audio book. Because you don't have to go through no tedious reading. You don't have to turn no fucking pages. You don't have to do any of that bullshit. You get in your car, you put on your headphones, and you are listening to a book. You're taking a magical journey into a fictitious land. You're expanding your mind, all when you're stuck in traffic. Fucking amazing. Audiobooks. These are the wave of the future. And you can get in for free for 30 days. A free trial. And when you get your free trial, you can download a copy of Tough Shit by our Savior, Kevin Smith. That's right. Our Lord and Savior, Kevin Smith, has left words for us to follow in our lives. And we can get it for free just by signing up to audibletrial.com/ThatMan on Fatman. That's right. audibletrial.com/ThatMan on Fatman. Thank you. Please sign up. You'll be very happy you did. Yeah, we're back, everybody. How y'all doing?
Gene, are you ignoring me? How did you like the interview with the great Brett Murray?
I loved it.
Oh, I should probably turn on your mic.
Yeah, I loved it. Why didn't you do the interview, Bane? You could have done it, too. You have a nice voice. You have to do more voice work. You don't do enough.
You're not letting me answer.
Okay, I thought you were having trouble. Sorry.
What does that even mean? Impossible.
Impossible. You have trouble? Never.
It would be extremely painful for you. I have no idea what that means, yes. My bane is not nearly as good as some other people's bane, but it is just a homage in the same way that I like to eat cock.
Wow.
It is a homage. or homo. I'm not sure.
Well, it does have the word homo.
Yeah, homo's in there somewhere.
Homo-age.
Cock and homo all seem to go together in some fashion. I'm not being racist.
I was going to say, some people would take offense to that.
No, that is not my intent. I am evil. I am not a good person. I am very bad. So
you have your moments.
You cannot expect me to be very complimentary to alternative lifestyles that I myself engage in because I am a villain, you understand?
Yes.
Jesus, cost to your strength.
Yeah, but why are you so funny? You're a villain, but you're so funny.
Victory has defeated you.
All right. Usually with this part of the show, it kind of lays there like a big noodle that is dropped on the floor.
So, Bane,
and sticks because there's a buildup of yeast and sort of a sticky texture that makes it to lie on the floor in such a way as you cannot peel it up unless you have to pick up some sort of implement such as a fork or perhaps a spoon that will allow you to scrape the noodle from the ground.
How did
Is this material not working?
Were you making your own noodles with
Are you out there? I know you're out there. I can hear you breathing.
Those are crickets breathing.
Do I have an MC here? Is this material? Did you not like the wet noodle bit? I'm trying out material for my Hulu special.
I don't know. That was a bummer.
Why did I get a rim shot on Hulu? All right.
So, Bane, do you want to hear about all the places we could go see Shooting Clerks?
Sure.
Because I know you'll want to go.
Sure.
Okay, so, guys, everyone, August 5th, make sure you get to Red Bank. Make sure you go to jayandsilentbobsecretstash.com.
We could be infested with these things.
Because you need to get all the rules. Because apparently, if you listen to the interview, and if you heard us before, there's rules that go along with the Guinness Book of World Records outing August 5th. The whole Broad Street in Red Bank will be empty.
The entire street.
Yes. So you need to just go by everything.
That is what we call a soft target.
Oh, Bane.
Just
is that a threat, Bane?
Something.
Listen.
No, I'm just pointing out the obvious.
Okay. Well, you know what? We have to live, too.
What a sweet terrorist target that would be.
So, August 5th.
Oh, you know the jihadis just hate Kevin Smith and Jay and Silent Bob. Didn't they make renderings of Allah or something? I don't know.
Right. You can go to at Shooting Clerks on Twitter.
Are you out there?
You can go to
I really have to call and get some buffers. I need some sweet new material.
Do you want to tell everybody about what time that they need to...
What? Time is irrelevant, dear.
Shooting? Okay, so at
It's called Killing Time.
Okay, well, I want to tell everybody when the show is on the 5th. It's at 8 o'clock. So go to at Shooting Clerks on Twitter and get all the information. And also get to the GoFundMe page because they could really use some help. And you can also get all the shit that you want on top of the movie.
And again, Brett will lay this out, but the reason for the GoFundMe page is so that they can help offset many of these expenses that are occurring on this very rapidly forming journey.
Right, and to offer perks to you.
Why does it sound like I'm taking a poop now?
It always sounds like you're constipated.
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
Okay, so August 5th. August 6th, Brightside Tavern, Jersey City, New Jersey. The second time you get to
That's
see it.
with the lady that Gene thinks is hot, but actually it wasn't really her. We have to give a shout out to C.J. Cullen.
C.J. Cullen.
Who I believe is partial to booking the Brightside Tavern.
C.J. Cullen, thank you very much. We're very excited.
But I believe also, what's her name is involved in it.
Yeah, Laura Manson's really pretty. So
yeah, you're just sweet on her.
Other than that. You'll see her too.
Show.
I think she's
Although
pretty much.
I do like the fact that you are being a degenerate. So thank you and welcome to the evil side.
How is it a degenerate?
You're doing all kinds of sexual things.
What am I doing?
Innuendo and
All I said
breaking.
was-
You're breaking all kinds of lines. You're stepping over them. You're crossing.
Because I said a girl was attractive?
Yes, it implies a sexual nature.
But can you say she's attractive?
Yes.
Then why is that okay? And I can't.
Because I'm Bane.
Well, I'm Jean, so.
But I'm a supervillain. I can say inappropriate things. For instance, flip, glog, narg, flabble, feet. Thank
I
you.
don't know what that means.
Exactly. I can say that because I am evil.
Okay, so. And August 13th,
What
you can also
matters is
see
our plan.
at the film festival on August 13th. That's the third time. So you have 1, 2, 3 chances in New Jersey to see Shooting Clerks. Go to @Shooting Clerks on Twitter. Check it out. You can get your tickets. Go to the GoFundMe page. Help them out. Help yourself, because then you can get extra stuff, extra perks. And Kevin's going to be at the movie, too, on the 5th. So you'll be able to watch Shooting Clerks with Kevin, which is awesome.
Yes.
And get the tickets soon. They're $37 each, which is kind of cute. Get them because it really doesn't seem like there's a lot left. So you can, and they're really...
Earlier, I heard the count may be only about 100 left.
Yeah, so and they're encouraging people to dress in their Jay and Silent Bob. So...
Yeah, many people have no choice, I think.
No. Oh, guys, and please remember, it's
Show
going to
me
be
what
really
you
hot.
got.
It's going to be really hot there on that day. So just remember, like, everything to do with that, like water, and, you know, we just want you guys to be hot like temperature. We don't want anybody getting sick. Just remember that.
Get hot and sexy.
Just plan.
Maybe all the Jay and Silent Bobs will get naked and start making out.
Plan accordingly.
Yes, so bring blindfolds.
And you can bring Kevin a birthday present. He also loves that, too.
Thank you.
Kevin loves getting birthday presents. So
yes. They go right in the garbage.
No, they don't. Bane, you're so mean. Just because you throw away your birthday present.
What is this Drake? What's a storm? What now? Trooper? Pooper trooper? What's this, Grace? Grace? Fuck me and make me forget we got a stupid kid. Coming, John.
The other day you had something on, but it wasn't that one. It was another one. Great.
Well, I'm gearing up. That's because... hang on.
Yeah, so anyway, Bane.
I'm gearing up because we could say that another show coming up in a few weeks is the follow-up to the infamous Top 10 Countdown Part 1.
So brilliant.
We're gearing up for Part 2.
Right.
And essentially, we're going to do all the things that we set out to do in Part 1.
Yeah.
So that's all set up and ready to go. And that's why you've been hearing so many classically funny
we don't
SModcast shows.
We don't need to see SModcast live in the UK. We can just have our own.
It'd be awesome.
Show.
You know what stinks? Somewhere in the world, I know for a fact, somewhere in a folder is a copy of Smoley Bible, which was at one point, you know, the animation those two were going to tour a SModcast show
so
on.
Great. And it will happen.
I hope so. I hope they still do that. Right now, you know, it's not going anywhere. It's not hurting anyone. So.
Scott Mosier is too brilliant and too the whole the duo is too brilliant.
There's too much going on there, and
Yeah.
too much going on that we don't really know. So
Yeah.
we just know that there's going to be more SModcasts with Scott Mosier coming up.
So cool, and there's a lot of gold there. There's just a lot.
And there's also Kevin is using that show to stretch and do interesting things in the meantime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
And and like what we do from time to time, like we have people and we talk about things we like.
Yeah.
Because that's what a podcast is about.
Yes. Sometimes things cross over.
And they kind of intertwine with Kevin, and sometimes they don't. But that's the way it happens.
Yeah.
But today's show has been great. And
yeah,
it's been
I had a great time talking with Brett.
Yeah.
I love talking about that movie. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud to be associated with it.
Yes.
In my small ways, my little cameos.
And pretty much.
And I didn't want to go on about all the, because I always feel like weird going, because you were like, well, I'm in the background of one scene, and I felt like saying, well, pay attention during the Vinnie Pereira cat scene. because
I was just throwing that out there to be silly.
If you look just behind the man.
No, but it's fun to see yourself on the screen.
Yeah, of course.
It's so
Everybody
cool.
gets a thrill.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and it's funny when like your friends or your family see it. They're like, "Wait a minute." It's so funny.
And the other you brought it up during the interview. The other big experience was when we filmed, we were there for the dinner.
It was so great.
Where they filmed essentially the other side of Kevin and Jay, or Kevin and Scott, being offered a movie contract from the bigwigs.
And you were Kevin's sit-in.
Yes, I was Kevin's stand-in.
Yeah, or stand
in
I
for Kevin
apologize.
Smith.
Stand in. I apologize.
Stand in for Kevin Smith.
Yeah, so that's
and I believe I'm in the credits as such as well.
I know, but that's huge.
So in the
What an
same
honor.
in the same movie, I'm credited playing in a way, at least on the second one, two of my biggest fucking heroes and influences to, my comedy talking stylings and all that shit to who I am today.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's such
It
an
is.
honor. And all in one picture.
Right. And thank you guys for allowing us to participate.
It's
and
been
to
fun.
honor
It's
the
been
movie.
it's been a joy.
And we really enjoy like telling people about it and sharing about it and doing whatever we can to help out. And it's been an honor.
I'm sure they know, like, they don't even have to tell us.
No.
we
know
we
that,
would do it anyway.
And we know that more things are coming. Like Chris Bain is like all over the place. He played Jay.
Yes.
So there's just so many more things coming.
All right, we're rehashing the interview they already heard.
Awesome.
Because we're out of context.
Yes.
And we're just killing time so that we can rewatch fucking Game of Thrones at this
Game
point.
Of Thrones in 20 minutes.
All right. And it might not be. We might have to find which channel it's on. It might be on one of the HBO variants. But, all right. We might have to go West Coast.
Oh, my God. If only. Then
Now
we
we're getting
have...
a lot. You know what? One downside to the new board. I like it in many fashions. But it is picking up a lot more of the wireless distortion. So we may have to go back to the old rule of no more cell phones.
Does that mean that it's like
during broadcasting,
that it's stronger, or it's not as strong as the other one?
What it means is I think the other one's insulated better for that type of electronic signal.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's Mackie. It's a good board. This is a good board too. A good company.
Well,
hey, when we went and saw Iron Man, they were running high-end Soundcraft gear. So
they were.
Yeah, on their audio. Yeah, they had high-end. They had a Soundcraft board, but it was for a fucking high-end touring band like the Iron Maiden, which is who we were seeing.
Which I heard was a lot of fun. Mm. Well, except for the standing, which is annoying.
No, it's. I think that they've lost sight of what they're supposed to be doing.
I know.
They're being too self-indulgent, in my opinion.
They're trying to be new again.
Or they're trying to. You shouldn't have to force your new material to be relevant.
No,
you know what I mean?
Their old stuff is good.
You should just
play it.
If you want to play new stuff, I'm a firm believer in. Yeah, you get 3 songs. You get 3 songs off your new album, and that's it. Seriously.
Really?
Because more than that just pisses off your crowd. They didn't come to see that record. If that record is good,
it's so true.
In 6 tours, they'll still want to see that.
Right. Like, okay, say I went to see Guns N' Roses. Okay, I don't want to go see Guns N' Roses for their new music.
Yeah.
I
hate to say
the fucking shit from the 80s.
And here's what I'll say to Iron Maiden. Kudos to them for the new material because it's fucking good, and it's as good as their old shit if you like that.
Yeah.
But
people like to know the songs when they're at a concert.
And
like
it's
that.
great that they're being, that they're putting out material, that they're staying relevant. But don't force your audience.
Right, you are. You're like forcing it down.
You're
their
forcing
throat.
it down their throat.
Like do
because you didn't do that back in the day, and if you did, it was special.
Like do 3 or 4 old ones and then throw a new one in. You know
For
what
instance, the greatest tour that they went on was the fucking what is it? The Egyptian thing, the Egyptian theme one. I can't remember.
I did not go, so I would not know the names. I apologize.
Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about it, and then you might.
If you talk about imbalance of the set list, it just had a few songs from that album. You know what I mean? It was a smattering of songs across their
but
work.
Why didn't they do that, I wonder?
And for the last few tours, they've been doing this. We're touring on the new album. And fans really, it's so backwards. They play a majority of new Maiden.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not good. And like just a smidgen of the old stuff. Just enough to keep you awake for the show. Like The Trooper. Okay, that was a cool moment.
Was it The Final Frontier? Is that the one you're talking about?
No, it's the next album after that.
Okay.
That they've been. No, you're talking about what?
The tours that they've been on.
That was like 2 tours ago. But I think my brother and I did go on that tour, the one you just cited.
Well, the Book of Souls is the one you're on that you went recently.
Yeah, Book of Soul, exactly. They're playing this new album. They're playing on the new album, and they did it for another tour. I will say this: we got very lucky in that. If we shared this before, I don't know why I'm talking about Maiden all of a sudden.
That's okay. It's what you like. How it came up.
I have a very weird relationship with Maiden. I mean, I wasn't the Maiden guy, but they were sort of the one band that my brother and I could. It was like the neutral ground that we could walk on together because I was much more hardcore and he was much more metal.
Yeah.
But we both were okay with Iron Maiden. We both were okay with Metallica. We both were okay with there's this common ground that we both walked on.
Right.
So that's why I think Iron Maiden is a little more special in that respect.
Yeah,
it has more to do with
because you and your brother had a thing with it.
Yeah, and as someone who likes mythology, I like that Iron Maiden sort of had their own marketing mythology,
and the fact that your son was
Eddie,
coming
I get a kick out,
and the fact that Cameron came, that was huge.
But we got to see this Somewhere Back in Time tour, which is the one they built this big documentary Flight 666 around, which won Academy Awards and shit.
Really?
I think it won an award.
Oh yeah, Flight 666. You're right.
It was a cool documentary because it talks about how the singer is their fucking pilot on their. But anyway, that was a great tour because it was a greatest hits tour, and the audience fucking went apeshit, and it was almost a recreation of that Egyptian tour, the Power Slave tour. Thank you, it finally came to me.
Oh, the Power Slave. Okay.
Somewhere Back in Time was Power Slave plus the hits
Somewhere
that
Back
weren't
in
on
Time
it.
World Tour 2008, 2009.
That kicked ass.
Yeah.
And they say the reason they did that was because they weren't sure if the States was even into metal anymore. They weren't sure if they were going to sell. They were nuts. They sold out every show they played. But anyway.
Right. So that was
but
the
they
release of
They put on a
Live
great
After
show.
Death.
They obviously, if you've seen, they put on a great show. There's a lot of fucking props and lights, and so always worth seeing.
The tour was described as groundbreaking for its use of Ed Force One.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. So cool.
That's their plane, and they kept it in geosynchronous orbit, man.
That's
so essentially
fucking cool.
they geared their tour to their body clocks.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and they could get more as they planned it with their own plane. They could get more efficient tours. So there is some genius to it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Of course, you have to have a fucking lead singer who at one time retired from the band and became a commercial aviation pilot.
Really?
Yeah. That's another fascinating part of the story.
Does he fly the plane?
Yeah.
He flies
He's
their
one of
plane
them. He's
when
the
they go.
captain, yes.
So when the one guy gets tired, he just does
And essentially, he's like sort of at least during that time, it was Virgin Airways. So he was sort of like, he was a captain of Virgin Airways when he was doing that. And then he was lead singer of, Iron Maiden when he was, but it was a privately chartered thing.
I was going to say, that's kind of, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
See, I can't believe, I have the documentary. I know I've watched it. You probably never pay attention.
Probably, but I know, but that's cool to me though. That's pretty awesome.
He was also a fencing guy.
I think all of us need to watch that documentary after Game of Thrones.
It's a few years old.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. If you're a rock fan,
there's some great
ones. If you like documentaries, you'll like it. If you like rock documentaries, you'll like it.
And believe me, we watch so many, and you can't help but have things absorb into through osmosis, even though you're not staring at it. If it's on in the background, you just kind of get all this into your head.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So maybe you guys could check it out too. And watch the Rush documentary too. It was really good.
Yes. All right, folks. As you can tell from some of the things we've dropped today.
Yes.
We seem to be getting back on the stick. We apologize for any perceived lackadaisical approach. It was never intended. It's just been a lot of plates with movies and this and that.
Having to
and
switch dates
life
around.
and
It
blah, blah,
happens.
boom. And so, yeah, at some point, we knew that was going to happen. But we won't talk about it anymore.
No.
We will just put out shows that you're going to love
Right.
for the next few. And
Actions speak louder than words.
so we got 3 or 4 in the bank, and
Yeah.
look forward to them.
Yeah.
And we
we
look
hope you
forward
guys-
to delivering to them. Delivering to the and delivering them to you and having you enjoy them again and
Yes.
winning your confidence again as your providers of Kevin Smith sideline entertainment.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah, I'm fucking.
So we hope you enjoyed it.
That was
And
complete
check out
and
all
utter
the
horse
shooting.
shit. I don't even know where it came from.
Horse shit.
Well, crazy bullshit. I'm gift of the gab, whatever you want to call it.
So go to @Shooting Clerks, check everything out. You can even go on Facebook, go search Shooting Clerks.
And we're going to be there. We're going to be there on the 5th.
We'll be there. Yeah.
We'll be there during Jay and you might see us as a variant of Jay and Silent Bob.
Right,
But
and
we'll
make
probably
sure-
be moving incognito.
Make sure you guys, and I know I keep saying it, but you have to make sure you sign up for it because you have to sign up and get an email, and you have to do all this. You just can't show up.
That's right. I said incognito. Yeah, thank you.
Incognito. That sounds incognito.
I know.
That's such a stupid word.
I know. Anyway, so I look forward,
you
and
may
we'll
not
probably be there
recognize-
on the 6th as
I was
well.
going to say you may not recognize us because you won't know which Jay and Silent Bob we are.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It'd be hard to pick us out. And on the sea of Jay and Silent Bob's. That will later be in the theater.
Yeah.
It's going to be so odd. It's going to be surreal.
Yeah. But the thing is,
It's going to be Kevin
I get to
Smith
be
watching the
Bob.
movie for the first time,
Yeah.
filled in a room of other Jay and Silent Bob's.
Right.
It's going to be fun.
And I get to be Silent Bob, who gets to wear the trench coat in 100-degree weather.
And I get to be Jay, who gets to...
Time to kick back, drink some beers, and smoke some weed.
Yeah. Gee.
Wait, I was right on that, wasn't
That
I?
was awesome.
Yeah, sometimes I get it.
Noise. Smoking weed, doing coke, drinking beers. Pack our ass, my good man. Time to kick back, drink some beers, and smoke some weed.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Ouch. That makes it bad.
I love how he quickly realizes that the ouch makes it bad. Let's play that one more time.
Ouch. That makes it bad.
The ouch makes it bad.
Yes, makes it dirty somehow. That's
All right, ladies.
That's a very obscure reference.
Oops, and gentlemen. Sorry.
Grace!
Shall we say ta-ta for now?
I believe, everybody, we should say, what a great time we've had this evening. What a great time we've had this evening. We're going to be coming back to y'all. And I lost my whole applause. And we'll be coming back to the rodeo next week. So until then, grease up the cats and put the Dixie cups on the floor.
I never understood what that was. Is that supposed to be dirty? Okay.
You would have to ask Howard Stern, because that's where I
Is
heard
that
it.
what he said?
That's where I got it.
Grease up the cats and put the
Grace.
Dixie cups on the floor.
Fuck me and make me forget we got a stupid
Right, I'm losing my mind. I'm just playing fucking sound effects now.
Coming, John.
Does that mean
means
he's
it's time
going to
to
jerk
go.
off into the cup, the Dixie cup?
I believe so.
Okay.
But I don't know what the cat's being greased up as. Is he going to shove him up his
He's gonna
ass?
put
or
it in
nail?
the. It sounds like he's going to put it in the cat.
I don't know.
That's terrible. It's so true. It is.
I can't talk, ladies and gentlemen.
The poor cat.
All right, we're done.
Bye, guys.
If
See you
anyone
next
hasn't
time.
told you,
Oh my God.
yeah, how dare you? You haven't been told that you're smart and good in
How
some
can-
time, or maybe today.
How can that be?
Well,
It's horrible.
well, then we're going to tell you that you're smart and good. And thank you very much for sticking with us and listening to the show and enjoying our wacky, zany offerings that we bring to the table each day.
My main business is real estate. I also own a newspaper.
newspaper and some other websites and online media businesses.
All right, I think we're done.
Okay. Bye, guys. Be good.
We'll catch you in a couple of weeks or a week or something sometime soon. We got a lot of shows coming, so.
Yay.
Yeah, we're back on the ball. See ya.
Bye, guys.
Staring out in space, looking for an angel smiling, praying for some faith. Thoughts are drifting through my mind and filling it with fear. Is there something else out there? And just why are we here? Then I see the world will turn and we must be its guide. Dreams and nonsense schemes, dawn comes and must reply. Powers from our mother earth will blow us to our knees.
The fire rises.
All our souls to bind as one. Come join us if you please, if you please. Reading moments one by one and smirking like a thief. Sitting through another night and deepening our peace. Genesis and Match's wake is coming from our sun. Living in this very moment, for this moment's done. But now I see the dawn will come and we are all its guide. Crazy dreams, nonsense schemes, the God.
Yes, I am that man.
Oh, like.
All our souls to bind as one. Come join us if you please.
What's Yoga fest, yoga fest, yoga fest, and story not story.
I read one from the Toronto paper that said this is what happens when you publish a paper. Haters have got to hate like the douches have to douche.
Join another person's eyes, we worship at our shrine.
My name is LaPointe.
Flowers into bloom, there's no such thing as time. Powers from our mother earth will blow us to our knees. Twisting, turning, minds are burning, join us if you please. And now I see that I am just beginning its demise. Flashing bits of comic light that vanish from the skies. Powers from our mother earth is all we'll ever be. All our souls to bind as one. Come join us if you please. If you please. If you please. If you please.
Go get him, that man. Go get him, that man. Go get him, that man.
Grace, fuck me and make me forget we got a stupid kid. Coming, John.
Now, you kids are doing the Lord's work up in Vancouver.
I mean, amen. You have an open invitation to come and direct an episode.
I come there in a heartbeat, man. You said it on camera, I come take a job instantly. I got a job, ladies and gentlemen.
Go get him, that man.